Hello, world. I'm the Surly Curmudgeon, and I'm here to help you. Well, most of you. Some of you are being complete pricks, and I'm speaking to those people who claim to be debunking the Mandela Effect. And I'm saying this because most of you, not all, but most, are complete assholes about it, while at the same time you are lying to your audiences. Every single one of you is using the straw man fallacy. The straw man fallacy is a form of lying which involves setting up a fake situation that's easy to knock down so you can pretend that you have debunked the real situation that you haven't touched. First, let's explain what the Mandela Effect is. It has 5 characteristics. Anything that doesn't have all 5 of these is not the Mandela Effect. 1, there are numbers of people. 2, who have a memory of something that was significant to them at the time they encountered it, which, 3, is identical from person to person in that group, and 4 is apparently different from, quote, reality, unquote, and 5 for which there is at least some evidence that they might be right. Anything that does not have all 5 of these is not a Mandela Effect. Not because we're sure that it, was always that way, but because we can't do anything without all 5 of these present. I can't do anything with your memory of how something was spelled. Okay, we got to find some evidence one way or the other, and there are many Mandela Effects for which there is a great deal of evidence, and I'll show you some of that here. But now let's go over those one at a time. Well, first, a lot of you debunk people's theories. You say, well, it couldn't be a multiple universe because, well, that's not the Mandela Effect. The Mandela Effect is not a multiple universe. The Mandela Effect is not multiple timelines. It is not overlapping universes. The Mandela Effect is these 5 things I just laid out here. The multiple universe, alternate timelines, and so on are theories to explain situations which have these 5 characteristics. That's all. By attacking the theory, all you're doing is being a dick. Oh, wait, the insult monster should say that. By attacking theories, all you're doing is being a dick. Whatever someone proposes as a possible cause of these situations is not the Mandela Effect. And they almost never say it is. They're guessing, and they all admit it. To try to debunk a theory is insult monster. To try to debunk a theory is the act of an asinine, arrogant, pompous twit who's afraid to address the very real conflict that spawned the theory to begin with. Deal with that, not the theory. All right, let's go over these one at a time. Characteristic 1, numbers. There's got to be several people that with the same wrong memory. 2, before I go on to 2, let's say there's a car accident. 100 people see it. We're going to have between 20 and 30 significantly different stories because human memory is variable. Human memory is a mess. It is not a video recorder. And none of those people knew the people in the cars. So it didn't have the emotional impact that it would have if there'd been their brother or best friend in that car. Right? So there's going to be some variance in normal human memory. What we're not going to have in that car wreck is 60 people who remember it this way and all their stories match, and 30 people who remember it this way and all 30 of their stories match. That will never happen. It never has happened. It's not going to happen. That's not how human memory distortion works. Now, there have to be multiple numbers of people who have the same wrong memory, and that memory has to have had significance to them at the time they encountered it. Otherwise, it's subject to normal memory distortion, and it may or may not be a Mandela Effect, but we can't treat it scientifically. Right? If it mattered to them at the time they encountered it, then we can call it a Mandela Effect. Their memories have to be identical. Like spellings of Berenstain. There's lots of ways you could spell Berenstain. Nobody's saying, hey, I remember it Behrenstein. That would be a spelling you'd encounter in Germany. All right. Nobody's saying, oh, I remember it Berenstein. All these things are possible. As a matter of fact, this one I just did with the EA, that was in part of their marketing. One of their books was offered that way. They're all remembering EIN at the end, Stein. Current reality says it's always been AIN. Even before they began publishing, they changed it to AIN. So the books have always been published under the name Berenstain, AIN. Okay? So we have a group of people whose memories of the spelling of Berenstain are identical. How about the sunglasses and white shirt in the Risky Business old-time rock and roll dance? There's a lot of ways Tom Cruise could have portrayed I'm a teenager pretending to be a rock star in the privacy of my own home, which I have for the first time since my parents left. He could have done leather jacket and jeans. He could have done jeans, no shirt, and barefoot. The current reality says he did a pink shirt, for whatever faggy reason, and tighty whities and socks, and that's it. Many of us remember that he did Ray-Ban sunglasses, white shirt, tighty whities, and socks. That's how we remember it. Now, here's what I mean by emotionally important to them at the time, the thing I just mentioned earlier. When that movie came out, my best friend was a movie theater manager, so I got to see it for free. I thought it was great, and I went and took a bunch of friends, and we went and saw it. I probably saw that movie 8 times. And we all just cracked up over that old-time rock and roll scene. We talked about it afterwards, how the sunglasses were the perfect way to say, hey, world, I am playing rock star. Because we associate the sunglasses when they're not necessary with rock stars. They wear sunglasses just to be cool, right? The identicality of these memories is not possible with normal human memory distortion. So you have to explain that if you're going to try to debunk the Mandela Effect. Now, all these memories are also different from, quote, reality, unquote. Now, that's not key to the argument. That is key to the argument, but it's not the Mandela Effect on its own. Just because somebody remembers something differently doesn't mean that you have a Mandela Effect to deal with or debunk. There has to be some evidence, no matter how poor, there has to be some evidence that they might possibly be right. Right? Now, these are 5 characteristics of a Mandela Effect. If you debunk 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 of these characteristics about some situation, all you have accomplished is to prove that that situation isn't a Mandela Effect. You want to debunk the Mandela Effect, you take the situations for which we have all 5 of these, and you prove all 5 wrong. That's the only way you can debunk the Mandela Effect. And until you do, you're just a pompous prick. Did you hear me? Just a pompous prick. I could name names here. As a matter of fact, it's kind of fun naming names, and I might get another video together and say, this is my list of shitheads. I don't know. Give it time. Let me think about it. Meanwhile, I'm going to wrap this up, and I'm going to put visual examples of proof of alternate reality, alternate timeline, proof that people might be right in remembering things differently. Okay? And you debunkers can have fun with that. But if you don't debunk all 5, you're just a complete fuckface. I'm the Surly Curmudgeon. Always put your clothes and weapons where you can find them in the dark.
Take Visa Mini?
Ja, tai siis, yes.
Good. I'm gonna get a few things.
Ja, yes.
Telling me that this was love at last.